Hi, this is Steph from Everything Vintage Steph. This is vintage video number 10. And instead of just doing one kind of vintage in my eBay room in the basement, we are going to do all kind of vintage. But I think we're going to start with hats. But this is Everything Vintage Steph from everythingvintagesteph.com. And if you want to see my web pages, which would be my eBay store and my blog, just look down below and you can see where it is. I'd like to introduce my camera person, Naomi.
Hi.
Awesome, Naomi. And my helper, Amy. All right, here we go. We're going to go around this room, actually, and just look at a bunch of things that are down here in my eBay room in the basement. This is where I do my shipping, but I also keep most of my non-clothing items in here. And many of them are vintage, not everything, but many of them are vintage. So we're just going to go like 10 minutes worth of vintage craziness because I got a lot of stuff. Everything that's down here that I'm showing you is available on eBay, unless it's sold in the next 5 minutes and you won't see it anymore because I get packages out every day. Packages like 15 to 20 packages every day. I sell a lot of stuff, mostly clothing. But I love the vintage. So here we go. Vintage hats. I'm wearing a hat probably from the 50s. It's made of straw and beads. It's pretty awesome. There's a little bow in the front. And what are you wearing, Amy?
A blue hat.
A blue hat also made out of straw with netting. And this one's pretty intricate. Look at those roses on there. I sell my hats for like $15 to $20. They're nothing super special, but they're always in, I like the ones that are in good condition. The straps broke on this one, but most people don't need that. And they're mainly from the 1950s. I keep them kind of here.
Or up here.
Or up here. This would be a man's hat. It's fur. It looks kind of Russian. And there's flaps that come out on it. And it has that quilting inside. So let's put Amy's hat back up there. You want to try another hat on, Amy? How about that black one with the fur? This one's pretty cool. This has real fur on it. And the bow goes in the front. Then, I think the bow goes in the front. No, maybe not. I'm not sure. Let's try it both ways here. Look at the camera. That's how the netting could go over your face, but if it went this way, which, well, then the netting could go in the back. But I don't think you pull it over the top. Look at that. There's a real fur on there. And it's made from Strawbridge and Clothier. And it has a hat pin in it yet. Some people may sell the hat pins separate. I keep them in there. All right, we got some other hats up here, another fur one and some more straw ones. And what else do we have over here? I've done a lot of videos. I've done a lot of vintage videos with books. And they're still here. I sell some, I get more. So there's a lot of vintage books down here. I won't talk about those today. But I do have a lot of vintage linens here. That's not vintage linens, but yes, I sell matchboxes, matchbox covers. I sell vintage thread. And these are vintage doilies. Sometimes they're in sets. Sometimes they are embroidered. I love the embroidered ones because look how cute that is. And not only embroidered, but it has a crocheted edge. That would be a table runner. When you open it up, it's the size of a table runner. This is not really a doily. It is a collar that you can wear over a sweater or something. You could try it on, Amy. I'm not sure if it would fit. She has it on her head. It might open up somewhere. No, I think it just stretches a little bit. And it is a child size. There are vintage thread here. I sell wooden spools of thread. All these are on my eBay store. And this stuff is not really like super expensive. maybe $15 to $20, most of the vintage, smaller vintage items that I sell. On this shelf is a little bit of pottery. I don't like to sell breakable things, but I just added this because it's Pennsburg pottery. It's made close to where I live here in Pennsylvania, and it's pretty popular. That is a nice rooster heart-shaped bowl, so that's why I have that. This is nail art from the 70s, and this was also produced here in Pennsylvania, in Reading, Pennsylvania. I have 2 of those.
Grammy, you're getting boring.
Oh, what? Is it 5 minutes already?
Yeah.
Okay, we better keep going. We might not get around the entire room because I only like to do 10 minutes, so I don't get too boring. We have, what are these called, Amy? Do you know?
Knitting needles.
Yes, knitting needles. So again, I sell vintage stuff. That's too noisy. Don't do that. Okay, over here, scarves. Some of these are vintage, but most of them are just regular scarves. I sell scarves. Now, this would be vintage. Try it on, Amy. I have 2 of these. They are handmade bonnets. Now, you do have that one on backwards. That's the back. This is the front. Let's see. That protects you from the sun. If you just pull it front a little bit. Don't be ashamed to wear that. Actually, around in this area, we have Mennonite and Amish communities, and you will see the ladies out with these hats on. They still make them. All right, one other thing from these drawers, maybe. I sell, go up a little higher. There's vintage belts and beads in here, and even scissors. Oh, you can't see that, but there's a whole pack of scissors. I sell belts and beads and scissors. I sell vintage silverware. You can have the Rogers, William Rogers tag there. We also have over here vintage get well cards, happy birthday cards from the 50s. These are very cute, very cute. I have packs of those. I have packs of, well, that's more cards, but I have more cards. I have postcards in there, but I don't want to dig around too much. I have vintage ribbon and assorted items, selling all that together. I even have a few things up there. Those aren't really vintage. It's older keepsake Hallmark ornaments, but yeah. Down here are some purses. Some of these are vintage, but most of my vintage purses are on the other side of the room, which we might get to. This one's very cool. This one is a tapestry purse. It has a brass clasp, very nice inside. That's a recent one I just added to my collection. That is for sale. More vintage books. You'll see the Hardy Boys here, Uncle Wiggily's Automobile, The King of the Golden River, even vintage TV guides. These are all Star Trek related. From 1994. Not terribly old, but down here is vintage music. I never did a video on vintage music, but I sell vintage music and regular music. This isn't very vintage, but when you do research on eBay, you can find some that these things are going for at least $10. If it sells for at least $10, I will put it on. How about these? These are cute. Hold these up, Amy. These are called, or turn it over, Pendleton. Well, you can see it, Pendleton. It's a set of 3. They make all these in bunny style. It's a cute little ladybug on there. So cute. I have sold these before, but I only have 3 right now, which I'm selling together. I sell those together. How many minutes did we do, Naomi?
9 minutes and 30 seconds.
Oh, we're getting bored. Okay, I'll just go around the room. This is where I do my shipping, and then shipping supplies. And then I have other shelves of vintage stuff, more vintage books, vintage purses. Most of the vintage purses are here on this side of the room. This one's made out of eel skin. That's very, very soft. Feels like leather, but it's very soft. That beaded one's really cool. Get that one out. That beaded purse. in good shape without the beads falling off. Okay, just give a shot of what's over here. I have a little Kittles collector case. I already sold all the dolls that were, excuse me, in it. The dolls were so nice. The collector case, whatever. It's not as interesting as the dolls. And there's Tupperware down there and other vintage things. Okay, last, thank you for subscribing to my videos. Thank you for listening all the way to the end, if you did. And we'll give you a special treat. Amy's gonna dance for you. Go. She's so talented. She does do competitive gymnastics. Okay. Thank you for watching Everything Vintage Stuff. Bye-bye.